Yo, this is Tony Vlaco's Team TV, baby. The king of Survivor Cagayan Jungle. This is Survivor Talk with D&D. Let's give these guys from season 29 a great show. I'll be listening to you guys from my spy shack. I hope everybody enjoys the show. Peace.
My wife. Hey everybody, this is Dwayne.
And apparently Connie and David.
Yeah. And we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. I've been looking forward to this all day, man.
I've been looking forward to it since last night when I finished watching the episode.
Yeah. And tonight we are talking about episode 2 of Survivor called...
Don't get upset at me. There's a method to my madness.
Was that Josh? Tell me that was my Valdring team tribe member, Josh.
Method to This Madness was the name of the episode.
Who said it?
We're live on YouTube, Google Plus, and on our website. Feel free to comment.
Are you not hearing me?
No, I hear you.
Oh, okay. You were ignoring me very well, so I wasn't sure if I was muted still
I have
or not.
issue with what you were saying. So,
Oh.
anyway,
Oh boy.
tonight it is us talking about the show, giving you our thoughts, giving you our opinions. Sunday night is your turn. So you need to get your feedback in by Sunday night at 7 p.m. Just go to survivortalkwithd.com/feedback. There are several ways to do it, including audio and or written. So get that in, right?
Exactly.
And thank you to everybody who bought T-shirts. We didn't sell quite enough to upgrade David's equipment. In fact, we bought more T-shirts than we made money. So we actually lost money on this deal. So we're going to do probably T-shirts again, closer to the merge, less expensive T-shirts, and see what happens. But thank you, and later on in the show, we will be drawing for the $25 Amazon gift card for one of you lucky winners. The SCA 9000 will be doing that.
Oh my, are you serious?
Yes, SCA. Are you not prepared, SCA 9000? Okay, he's speechless.
He must be finished.
Yeah. As always, thank you for starting your Amazon shopping using our links on Facebook or our link on our website, or creating a shortcut on your desktop. SurvivorTalkwithD&D.com/Amazon, and just always use it to go to Amazon and help out the show a lot.
I don't want to laugh too loud because then it takes the view off your facial expressions when you have your little hiccups.
Whenever I make my mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you had a good day today, David?
Yeah, it was a good day. We had a really good soccer practice tonight, which I just got home from. I'm still dressed for soccer, and yes, I did have a pretty good day. How about yourself?
I had a really good day. Did you have a busy day?
Very busy day from 4:55 when I got up until now when I'm finally sitting down to talk about something I've been waiting since last night to talk about.
Yeah.
Been nonstop.
I did record my band playing something. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
It's remember, these are all beginners.
You know, I still want to use this band as an intro music for our show. So if y'all agree with me, you should put on Facebook that you want to hear them do the intro as well.
David, seriously, that is not happening. All right, hold on. All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. Instruments up.
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
1, 2, ready, and.
They got the Go Big Blue down.
That's so perfect for Welcome to Survivor Talk. That would be great.
No, it really is not. It really is not. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, I had a good day today. I had a fun day. Although now Thursdays, since we record on Thursdays now, 6 hours of my night is taken up with Survivor now.
Yeah.
So I get home from work, watch the show, take the notes, pull clips. Now that I pull clips, maybe I shouldn't pull clips.
Maybe. You do so much for all of us. We were so appreciative.
Hey, I'm not complaining, man. I'm not complaining. I enjoy it.
So my days,
I don't want it. If I don't want to spend the time pulling clips, then I just don't need to pull clips.
See, right now
What,
we're in the middle of moving our offices. Our main office is getting rearranged. I'm moving to an upstairs office, which we're going to call the man cave because there's only guys going up there. So that fills in the downtime that I have at work is with the packing and unpacking. So it's been a fun day.
Yeah. Hey, your daughter's not on the internet, is she?
No, she
Not
shouldn't be.
watching Netflix or anything?
No.
All right, man. Just checking. Your video's doing some funky comedina stuff.
So is yours. So.
Oh, well, there you go. Hey, guess what, man? We had several people who, I don't know if they didn't buy T-shirts or what. I know one of them did specifically said to me, that's my I didn't buy a T-shirt money.
Yeah.
because the T-shirts was supposed to be a fundraiser to help us improve your video. So, but we had several one-time PayPal donations, which can be done on our website. Nicole Narsing, thank you, Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Will the Giant Ninja, who lives by the sea. Lori Proleski, thank you, Lori, and Kristen Narr, who got me. Kristen is the one that got me interested in Big Brother Gossip Podcast. She's not in our Facebook group, but she's follows me on Twitter. And she and I talk about Big Brother Australia. I like.
I'm glad you got somebody to talk to about that.
I do, and I like Kristen a lot. Kristen's fun to talk to, and she doesn't spoil things, and she has a great sense of humor. So I love talking to her.
So she's the opposite of me. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And if she knew she was talking to some 45-year-old guy, she may not be talking to me. I don't know. Of course, now she does. So anyway. But anyway. Hey, tell me about your wall, because your wall changes like every week. And I know you can't see the wall, those who are just listening, but David's got lots of Survivor buffs up on the wall and all kinds of new stuff.
Here's Cagayan's array with the Beauty Tribe, the Brawn Tribe, the Brain Tribe, and the Merge Tribe.
Right.
This is the Coyopa.
Yes.
I know. I knew there's a Y in there somewhere. And the Hunapu. And then you got a White Walker still, Optimus Prime, Sandor Clagan, the Hound. You got
Sandor Clagan. Come on, you don't know your Game of Thrones characters?
Well, I'm looking backwards. Well, this is good gosh, you put me on the spot.
It doesn't matter. You got a bunch of Game of Thrones guys up
and
there.
Here's Rocket Wrecker.
What's above your Apari and other? What are those things?
Oh, those are soccer trophies.
Oh, we don't care about soccer trophies.
Sure you do. All those.
No, we don't. No. Real football's on tonight on TV.
Yes, it is.
I'm just playing. Well, thank you, David, for sharing with that. If you want buffs from Survivor, you can go to Buff USA and get them. So, pretty cool.
By the way, that's Ed Stark. And
what?
That's Ed Stark from Game of Thrones.
Okay. Yeah.
And yes.
All right. Last thing, David. For as little as $1 to $2 a month, we're talking a cup of coffee, half the cost of a cup of coffee. You could support us with Patreon. Patreon.com/Survivor Talk. Or just go to our support page on our website. But literally, $1 or $2 a month. If enough of y'all did that, we could upgrade David's equipment pretty quick, and it would be great. So thank you a lot. All right, let's get to.
They could actually see who these people are.
Yes. Yes. All right, let's get to initial thoughts. David specifically asked me today, not that he needed permission, but he specifically asked
Yes, I did.
that I go first. And I said, yes, David, you may.
Well, I want
such a rough week.
I want to go first because I have a top 10 signs that you're watching a crazy fun episode of Survivor.
Oh, my. How much fun is that?
And I have a feeling that you might have a couple duplicates in your initial thoughts, so I want to get out mine first.
I have 3 initial thoughts.
All right, so I'll do mine. Here are the top 10 signs from my David Letterman show that you're watching a crazy fun episode of Survivor. Number 10.
Oh, that's tonight's show.
That's Carson. That's the awesome one. This is just Letterman. Number 10. You can't wait to watch it again. I could not wait to watch this episode a second time.
Yeah, I know why you couldn't wait to watch it.
Number 9. Number 9, the episode was over way too fast.
It did feel like it was over fast.
Oh, my gosh. Give me 90 minutes, please. Go back to 90 minutes a night. Gosh, it was over in like 30 minutes, it felt like.
Yeah.
Number 8, Survivor. Someone tells a lie and gets busted within the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
I suppose you're talking about Val.
And that was a game ending bust.
Yes, it was.
Notice I got busted in there with the police.
Bye, Val.
She was busted. Number 7 of the top 10 signs that you're watching a crazy fun episode of Survivor. Number 7, someone who didn't seem to have a clue how to play Survivor manages to use someone else's clue and find a hidden immunity idol.
That's right. Way to go, Rocker.
Johnny Rock. There you go. Number 6, a deal is made after an early challenge and broken before the next time on Survivor.
Which one was that?
That was Rocker and Jeremy. They made a deal on Exile, and next thing you know, it's over before the next time on Survivor comes
Well,
out.
it ain't over quite yet.
Well, the deal's over because she's gone.
Well, I
So
know
he
it's
can't say
over
what
as
he
soon
wants.
as Jeremy sees it because Rocker can't explain himself.
That's right. Number 5, top 10 signs that you're watching a crazy fun episode of Survivor is John Rocker loses a challenge to a girl.
Yeah.
That was great.
Not just a girlfriend, David. A girl.
Girlfriend minus the
You
friend.
know those lesser beings.
Number 4 of the top 10 signs is a rarity happens. And I mean the attempted trade bartering.
Yes.
We have a great conversation going on our Facebook page that you ought to check out between Mike Razor and Mike Kimura, and it has to do with both sides of this situation. Mike Kimura brought up that they did it in Australian Outback. Probst actually went to the camp because they were so weak and didn't have fire. He ended up taking things, including their tarp and Colby's Texas flag, to give them flint. But that was just awesome. Something that pops up that's not on the schedule, Probst's schedule.
Oh my.
All right, number 3, a castaway cheers for the wrong tribe because it's his daughter. You know that Dale was cheering.
Oh, yes.
On the inside, you know he was cheering for his daughter. That's number 3. Number 2,
talking about Drew.
Number 2, a castaway loudly cheers for the wrong tribe because he doesn't know any better.
Because he's Drew.
Because he's true. And the number 1 sign that you know you're watching a crazy fun episode of Survivor, there is blood. You're watching a fun episode of Survivor.
Yeah, scooping like this episode, I'm sure.
Yeah. So that was my top 10.
Oh, David.
And you know
You
what?
should have told me that. I would have had an applause button on ready.
That all came to me so quick last night. I started last night, and I'm also wearing the Survivor hat because I liked the episode. So that's when I wear the Survivor hat. But that's how good I found this episode. It wasn't great Survivor, but it was a really good show, and I just loved it. I had so much fun watching this episode.
Right.
So
By the way, Robert Bowery on YouTube says Green Bay 28, Vikings 0, so I will listen in to you guys.
that means Aaron Rodgers is probably getting me points on my fantasy team. Hello.
Oh, yeah. Fantasy football. All right, my initial thoughts, David. None of them are yours.
Oh, sweet.
I know, isn't that cool? The loss of 2 women preseason is already having its effect on the game.
Oh, yes.
It really is, because it's already, look, we got 5, you got 4. The girls are in trouble already.
Yep.
Yep. I like that, but at the same time, I wish those 2 girls were on the show. All right, my second one is you don't offer a half bag of beans for the most important object in Survivor, Flint.
Yep.
A half a bag of beans. That's like me offering $1 for that new Miata I want.
Now,
Not quite that extreme, but
not to argue with you, though, but don't you start with a low bid when you're trying to barter or deal?
okay, all right. I go to the Miata dealer. I go to the Mazda dealer. The car retails $28,000, right? I walk in, I say, hey, I'll pay you $15,000 for that.
Okay.
That's not really negotiating. That's me being a jerk.
But he's not going to tell you no. He's going to say you got to come up with something better.
No, he's
Right?
not. If I say 15, he's going to go, leave. You're not serious about bartering with me because I went too low. My point is I think a half a bag of beans was too low. In other words, there is something to be said about starting low, but you don't start so low that it's an insult.
But they didn't. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to nitpick. They didn't offer the half bag. They just offered the bag, right? The whatever was left in it.
Which was a half a bag.
Oh, I thought they said it was almost full.
Well, one of them said, let's see,
It's nearly full.
Kelly or Julie said, well, there's a little bit more than a half bag.
And then the next one said, yeah, it's nearly full.
Yeah. So, and Probst is like, you're kidding me, right? Flint is like the most important thing, which we'll talk about it later in more depth. In fact, I have the whole conversation for us to listen to.
Okay.
All right. Last initial thought. Here it goes. Josh, my friends, is playing this game.
Yes.
He is. And several things that he's done show that he is playing the game, from the way he deals with Rocker to the way he handled the vote.
Yep.
Guy is playing the game, and now that Val is out, I'm switching to Josh in the front office pools. I can't switch him on our stuff. But
Yeah.
hey, I wasn't the only one wrong on Val. Probst even picked her to win.
Yep. Yeah, there's
So-
there's several people in the front office pools that got to change their picks now.
Yeah, including Jeff Probst.
Mhm.
He's not in our front office pool, but
I don't think he's
picked
going to
her.
change. He's not. Well, he can't pick him now.
He's not in our pool.
That's right. He's not in our pool.
He probably still wouldn't do better than Rashmi, though. Or whoever it is that's in first place. I don't know. I don't keep up with it anymore. All right, man. Those are my initial thoughts, and you already gave 10, so you don't
good
need any
enough.
more.
No.
Night 3, my friends. We are back at camp, and Josh talks to Baylor right away.
Uncle upset at me. There's a method to my madness. I put your name down. No, listen. At Tribal Council tonight, I voted for Baylor to further advance our alliance in this game. I don't want the guys thinking that I was getting too close to Baylor, but I still wanted to keep Baylor as an asset. Tonight, I knew they were voting for Nadia. I figured if I put your name down, there was no way that could happen.
Wow.
I know. Do not be mad at me. Like, I was literally...
Josh comes up to me. He explained to me that it apparently was a game move because he doesn't want the guys to know that me and him are aligned.
I'm so sorry for doing that to you, but I feel like that actually made us stronger.
That was a smart move in a way, but it was also sketchy and scary that he didn't tell me before he was going to write my name down. I really hope that I can trust him.
So, was it a smart move, David?
What, to vote or to tell her?
Both.
My question is, what is Baylor to him? Is she a merge alliance? Is she a final game alliance? Because if she's a final game alliance, he just showed her that he's willing to do something behind her back that could affect her without her knowing about it.
Well,
I mean, we've read and we've heard that he made his decision last minute.
Right.
I gotta think he went there thinking, you know what? I could vote for Baylor, which might have been why he wasn't concrete when he got there. I could vote for Baylor to make sure the guys see that, we're not locked in. But at the same time, why vote for Baylor to show the guys you're not locked in when you got Baylor to switch your vote? I have a feeling he told the guys, hey, Baylor's going to come with us for Nadia. We got Baylor, so there was not going to be a tie, nothing close. But I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people on our Facebook page do not think this is going to come back in the game. I think it could. I think if Missy's still there, I think Baylor could use this against Josh. That, you know what? Back on first vote, he voted against me without telling me. It was a plan to help us, but he didn't tell me.
Well, the only thing I can say is, not the only thing, I could say lots of stuff, Dave. I do think that he went in thinking he was going to vote for Nadia. Because I think what happened was he started stuff that Baylor said made him scared or thinking, I don't want the guys to think she and I are this tight, so I'm going to vote against her so they won't think we're so tight. Do I think it was a great move? Not really, because she was already with them anyway, so I don't really know that it was a great move, but that's why I think he did it without telling her, and I think he could tell her that, and I think she bought it.
Now, I do agree that sometimes you don't want to tell somebody so they don't give it away. She was surprised, and maybe that's what he wanted. He could have also done it to later on tell Natalie, I didn't vote for Nadia. I wasn't one of those. I voted for somebody else. If that ever comes into play, but I just think it's too early to show your hand or try to convince somebody of something. I don't know. I mean, but the fact that Baylor seemed to accept it is good for Josh, obviously. But yes,
right.
like you said initially, Josh is playing. He's thinking from all angles, and he's trying to cover all angles. And like you said, being the swing vote is dangerous. So he's trying to make sure he's showing the guys that he's not, between the two. He's actually working with them.
Right. All right, now for our fantasy challenge, for our Survivor D&D Survivor challenge, I do not believe that anybody gets points
For what?
for the episode title, because the episode title was never said.
What's the episode title?
The episode title is Method to This Madness, and he said Method to My Madness. You do not get those points.
I'll leave it up to Shayna.
Okay, well, he didn't say it. He said the general phrase, and yes, the title is attributed to him because of that, but he did not exactly quote it.
So who gets credit for the title? Attributed? Credited? Is that not the same thing?
But he didn't say it.
Let's take it to the Facebook page. We'll give everybody 24 hours to vote.
All right.
But Shayna gets the final say, and I think she's already given me the point. So.
All right, Shayna, go on Facebook and make a poll. Should David get points for the episode title since Josh did not say the episode title? Or however you want to word it.
Or in parentheses, you should put, should David be up by 85 or just 80? You know, when it comes to it.
Yes, you are beating me. 2 of my people are gone.
I know. I noticed that.
All right. So we skipped day 4. We've skipped day 2, and we've skipped day. This is the odd season.
This is the prime season. We're only working on prime days.
Yeah.
I did a drill at soccer Tuesday night where I lined the girls up on the side. They've all got their own numbers, and every 2 girls have the same number. So if I call 1, 2, and 3, they go out as teams and play each other. So I throw the ball out in the middle, or I kick it out in the middle, and after a while I start messing with them. I say, all right, prime numbers. And like 2 of them ran out. 6 of them looked at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, you're high schoolers. Prime numbers. And somebody starts shouting them out. So, yes, this is the prime season because we're only talking about the prime days.
So how about John being a second in the world in Taekwondo 2 years in a row? That's pretty amazing.
That's impressive. And so is Reed lifting up his foot behind his head.
Yeah.
To show the spidiness.
Yeah. I can do that. I just choose not to.
Oh, I thought you were going to have a fake leg go up behind your head.
Oh, no. Hey, David, look how thin I'm getting.
Yes, I am too.
Yes. Anyway, so they lost their flint, David. Let's talk about this we lost our flint thing.
Mm-hmm.
First thing I do if I lose my flint is I go up to a producer and say, we got flint, but now it's gone. Can you get us some flint? That's what I do.
Yeah.
And apparently that's what Fishback says. Because according to him, and I'm going to put this up, this is from Boy Wonder, says, you guys should listen to the last Survivor Know-It-All. Stephen Fishback basically said that when people have lost the flint on his season, they just told the producer they needed a new one and got it without giving up anything. What? But yeah, why not ask? Why go straight to bartering with Jeff when you know you're not going to get flint for free? Why not just ask a producer?
Well, Probst says things are tougher now, so maybe they did and they said no. So, I mean, maybe times have changed.
Yeah, I think things are easier now because I think Probst would have bent over backwards to make sure they ended up with flint because they don't want another Australia, another Africa where everybody's back at camp dying because they're listless and they can't do anything and there's no excitement. They don't want them to have a fire because they want them to be exciting and fun to talk with and to listen to.
Yeah, they're not good for challenges if they don't have nourishment or fire.
Exactly. So I think Reed could have said, you know what, Probst, fine. You don't give us flint. We're going to lay around camp and do nada. No camera time. I'm just saying.
I don't think they'd do that.
All right, John lost the flint, and he admits it. Now, I don't think this is going to come back and bite him in the butt, especially since they got off so easy.
Yeah.
You?
I don't think it's going to be a big issue, obviously, because it gets resolved in this episode. But I don't know. I mean, I would be surprised if they asked the producers, if they asked them if that's something we can have. They're like, you need to talk to Probst. You know, we're not here to be talked to. You need to go talk to him and see what he'll do.
Yeah, well, we've got some previous players that will tell you they are there to be talked to. Hey, Bob, cameraman, let's go have a Snickers together.
All I know is I don't know if it was because of the Flint or not, but every time they showed Keith in this segment, the old fireman Keith, he looks annoyed.
He does.
He looks annoyed. I don't know. Maybe it's like first it's my son, now it's these kids.
Yeah.
Nobody can keep Flint anymore.
Yeah. We were wrong. It wasn't Keith or Wes that lost the Flint.
Nope.
No. All right.
Earlier in this segment, I like Jeremy's observation of how happy these people are. He said they're just happy, but it's not real. You know, it's like we're in a club or like we're a team, but we're not a team. We're a group of soul survivor people. Everybody trying to be the sole survivor, and they're just happy and go lucky. And he's observing this, and he's mentioning that the girls are already annoyed with the guys, you know, being so happy and upbeat. It's like, you know, they've only won one challenge because he won one. He won one challenge, and they've only won one challenge. So they're just happy-go-lucky, upbeat guys. So
why would that irritate anybody? Why is that irritating to be happy and upbeat?
I don't think it's irritating, but I think it's like a blinder effect where all they see is just playing games and winning, and Jeremy's aligning. He's building alliances. He's trying to find people he can work with and strategize with. And I don't know. I mean, maybe that's like Richard Hatch the first season when he wanted to start playing Survivor, and people were just out there to get in front of the camera and get the experience of a lifetime. And I'm like, hey, I could care less about experience of a lifetime. I've got kids. I've been married. Those are my experiences of a lifetime. I want to win $1 million. I want to start playing this game.
So you're saying Jeremy's playing the game and no one else is?
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly. Well, I'm not saying no one else is, but I'm saying he just.
No, I mean on his tribe.
His comment was, they're all happy, and it's not real. You know, this is not real. We're not going to be like this forever. We're going to be either mixed up soon, or we're going to be merged soon, and you guys aren't going to be happy anymore. So it's like we need to buckle down and play the game.
But why get all stressed out? Okay, I'm going to disagree. If I'm at camp and we're not losing and we're winning and we've got fire and we're a happy group, why stress? Why not have fun and get to know people?
I'm not siding with him. I'm just observing what he said.
No, you are siding with him because you're saying he's playing the game and the other people on his tribe aren't. You compared him to Richard Hatch, David.
No, I compared his comments to what Richard was saying the first season. I mean, that's just the opinion I got of his comments, that he's trying to play the game more at the camp, and they're just going around lifting logs, doing push-ups, and it's just one big happy world when he knows it could change in one challenge.
All right, well, you know what happened to Colton when Colton kept trying to play the game?
Yep.
And everybody else was just wanting to have fun.
But Colton was playing the game from the bottom, trying to work up. I think he was hurt. Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying.
I'm just bringing up something that you skipped over when you went right to the Flint.
Well, no, you're bringing up something that you wanted to talk about. I didn't skip over it. I just talked about Hunapu on day 5. You don't want to get all picky about it.
By the way, I did write down a new challenge category. Whoever loses the Flint should lose points.
Golly. All right, well, let's get to the reward challenge. Oh, wait, one more thing. John calls out Jatia's name.
Yes, he did.
Who we're having on the show in a week and a half.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, after episode 3, the feedback show for episode 3, we'll have Jatia on the show. All right, so day 5, it is reward challenge. So later that morning, they go there. Natalie is not happy, and of course Probst decides, I wonder how many buttons I can push to make this girl cry.
Doesn't take many, but man, we get a Natalie that we've never seen before in Amazing Race or Survivor or anything. A soft-spoken, sad Natalie.
Yeah.
It's very humbling, but I mean, it's like, wow, this is her by herself.
Yeah.
And she's never been in that situation. Even when they were on separate tribes, they're both in the game.
Yeah.
Amazing Race, they're never separated. Now they're separated.
Yep. So, what about that challenge? You like the challenge? Oh my gosh.
You okay?
I forgot to get my charger for my Mac, and my Mac is about dead.
Uh-oh. Then
So
you need a charger.
I've got to run to the other room, so I'll edit this out of the audio podcast.
Okay.
Oh, you want to go grab my charger? It's probably in my hard case beside the roll-top desk. All right. Let us continue as though that never happened.
The challenge I liked a lot because it was completely different than the first challenge. And what I mean by that is I think Rocker kind of took over pre-reward challenge. I think Rocker said, if we're going back to rock, paper, scissors, I'll do it. I'll volunteer, I'll do it. And I think he also said, and no matter what the challenge is, I'll do it.
Yeah, well, that was a mistake.
I'll win it. Exactly, it was a mistake. Because
that's a great challenge if you're short.
Yeah, it's also a great challenge if you're a beauty pageant winner who has a lot of poise and balance. Winner? She's Miss Michigan. You got Miss Michigan. Not. Yes, she was.
Julie was not Miss Michigan. Jacqueline was Miss Michigan.
And Jacqueline is on Rocker's tribe. And what I'm saying is when Rocker won, he should have turned to the lady with poise and grace and balance and let her take on the football player. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at.
Sorry, but I got a boogie. Just a second. Sorry, everybody.
Yes. So anyway, what I imagined happening with this challenge was, it's like Rocker in the bullpen, and he gets a call from the coach up, Bryant, coach for the Braves up in the dugout, and they said, hey, they're going to put in a new batter, so I need whoever's feeling good. And Rocker says, I'll pitch. And the coach is like, well, you don't know who they're putting up. They might put up a big right-handed hitter. Doesn't matter. I'll pitch. I'll do it. Right. And he comes out, and then they put the batter up. And I think he made this call himself before he saw the challenge. And as soon as I saw the challenge, I said, you're not – because Rocker thought last time they climbed through an obstacle, they tossed a rope. What are the chances the challenge would be completely different? Well, very good in Survivor. So this was about balance and poise and patience, not about a big guy going through this thing and muscling his way through. Right. That's why as soon as I'm sorry to interrupt. As soon as he picked it and Julie came down, I thought Julie's going to win.
Yeah. He's 6'6".
Yes.
But it's not just on him, it's on the rest of his tribe too. They should have said, "Wait, John. I mean, look at that. You're going to have to lower. You're going to have to squat like 2 feet."
Right.
So, anyway, great challenge for short people. Dalton said that the disc, because he got to try out this challenge.
Oh yeah.
He said that the disc originally had a little hole in the middle that held the ball when you first started.
Oh, that would be like cheating.
And Dalton said, "I just got the ball back in the hole." He had another way of doing it. You'll have to go read his column and read about that. It was really interesting. So they're playing for fishing gear, which
so we think, yes,
sometimes is really good and sometimes doesn't really matter. On some tribes,
who wins the gear?
On some tribes, they don't. It doesn't. Yeah, it depends on who gets the gear.
And if you're in the Philippines, you might not find any fish.
No. So rock, paper, scissors. Who did it the way that you said you should always do it?
Well, Reed did it again, but he did rock again for some strange reason.
Yeah, because didn't you say if you're playing rock, paper, scissors with a guy, always do paper because guys always do rock?
Yes.
So John Rocker took your advice.
He did, and I'm really surprised that Reed did the same thing. Maybe they thought he would do something different, so that's why he did the same thing.
Yeah. All right. Another thing I noticed about the challenge that I think if John wasn't 6'6", might have been an advantage. Say that you had a Jacqueline and a Julie or a Jacqueline and a Kelly going against each other. I think whoever has their back to the other person has a disadvantage. Or maybe an advantage. Actually, maybe an advantage because you're not distracted by how the other person's doing. My point is one person can see how the other person's doing and cannot.
Which may have hurt Rocker because he's watching Julie just slowly go to the end and he's just getting more and more frustrated.
Yeah. Slow and steady.
Yeah, and I think she could have rolled up there about 12 balls and she still would have beat him.
Yeah, I think so too. He would have kept dropping them.
Yep.
It was funny, man. She didn't even have to duck her head past the second post.
I know.
Her little hair thing on top went bloop. That was about it.
Yep. And I love how this is brought up at Tribal Council. I mean, this is exactly what's talked about at Tribal Council, making plans before they go out there.
Yeah. Jeff says nobody would have predicted this, and I went, yeah, we did.
I know. I wrote that down too.
As we saw.
You're overselling it. We want the challenge, we want the win, but you don't have to tell us that this is no. They're not throwing baseballs, and they're not swinging bats, so it's not an upset.
Yeah. They're not at the immunity challenge battling each other. If Julie had beat him there, then yes, who would have ever expected that? But yeah, we all kind of saw this. And
apparently everybody but Probst, but anyway.
Yeah. So Rocker didn't just get beat, man. He got beat by a girl.
Yes. I mean, he also needs to learn how to wear that buff because he's just not looking too
he needs
too straight with that buff.
When Buff sends you your buff, you get instructions on how to wear it. He did not read those instructions. They are clearly
No,
written.
he didn't.
So why do you think she just randomly picked Jeremy? I actually have a theory, but do you think she randomly picked him?
No, I think she had that. I think as soon as Rocker went up there and volunteered, her mind. I mean, I would hope that everybody starts thinking about that, because you don't necessarily want to tell somebody unless you work out a plan, like I wrote about on Facebook. But I don't think it was random. I think it was the person that she may not have gelled with yet. But I mean, it seems like Jeremy's gotten with all the women. He's talked to each one of them.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe that's why she picked him, because if she's aligned with him, he can go align with John, and then that can get Val involved, and that just increases their numbers. That would be my only guess as to why she picked him. I don't think it was random at all, though.
So I guess there's two options in my mind. One is probably a little more realistic than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps since Val and Keith had already been on Exile Island, which is probably what you were saying, but she thought, okay, Jeremy and Rocker, and then we can see, how it all works out. But what I thought the night of the show was Julie being a lady. Ladies tend to like to help their men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, for example, my wife likes to help me by giving me advice, or maybe putting me in a situation where I can grow more as a human being.
Yes.
Right? So maybe she thought, if I put Rocker with Jeremy, this will help alleviate any of the racist talk that people have.
Right.
And he and Jeremy will get along great. Jeremy will come back and go, Rocker's a great guy. He's not that guy from 10 years ago. We all should just get along.
Right.
I actually think that might be part of the reason.
It very well could be. And it's a good idea, because Jeremy's a very easy to get along with guy. He's a talkative guy. He's a strategist. John's not necessarily a survivor strategist. So put Jeremy with them. They're either going to bond or they're going to run away from each other. But if they bond, that adds Val. Then John can take care of Val. What could go wrong with that?
Right. What could go wrong?
Exactly.
Well, so me, Bethany, I hope on YouTube, I hope that kind of at least gives a couple of ideas of how it could help, of why she might have picked Jeremy. I mean, who else would she have picked?
I definitely think there was a reason to it. I mean, not just a random thing. She played like it was random, but I have a feeling it had a purpose behind it.
The game said, I know who John Rocker is, but I want to work with him.
Yep.
So, and there's something else that happens on Exile Island that I think speaks very highly of Jeremy that I cannot wait to talk about. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Okay.
So, all right, it's time to... Oh, wait a second. Somebody needs Flint.
Hunapu, the winning streak continues. Congratulations. Nice big reward. Come down and get it. Head out.
Jeff, we have a kind of a not traditional situation that we'd like to propose to you.
Okay.
Our tribe seems to have misplaced our flint, and so we were wondering if we could potentially barter with you and take the fishing equipment, but trade you the beans for our flint.
First, let me understand the situation. So the tribe with 2 firemen, Keith and Jeremy, you've lost it.
It's gone, Jeff.
So you want to make a trade, but you want to keep the fishing gear, and you want to trade the beans. Walk me through this from a negotiation standpoint. You're the ones who need to make the deal. My life is fine. So you come in, survey the scene, see what the reward is, and then offer me the thing of least value. Probably a half a bag of beans at this point, I'm guessing.
A little bit more than that.
Jeff, if you don't ask, you don't know, so...
It's almost full. A better negotiation would have been to walk in at the top of the challenge, say, can we trade our beans straight up? Because what you did is you came in to see if you would win, and then levered that. And that doesn't work on Survivor. I got one offer for you, if you want to make it, and that is you give up all this fishing gear for a new flint.
No.
We'll just keep collecting firewood.
Now that I know you don't have a flint, when it rains, and it will, and your fire goes out, and now you need to make a trade, the payment will be much tougher. So this is your opportunity now to seize it if you want it, because I promise you to get a flint later will cost you more than fishing gear.
We'll keep the fire going. I'll eat raw fish.
No, we can't survive without fire.
No, we're gonna keep the fire going.
It's always you guys.
What's the decision?
We got guaranteed protein. Fire.
All right, we'll leave the fishing gear behind. You'll have a new flint waiting for you back at camp.
Okay, thank you.
I love it when Jeff said, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Y'all are the ones that are...
I found it interesting. I wanted to see at the beginning if this was something that they all agreed to do or if it's something that came up. And if right before it comes up, Reed looks at Kelly. And Kelly's got her hands together looking at Reed and gives him the hand gesture of, go ahead. You know, what do we got to lose? If we're going to do it, now's the time to do it.
Yep.
So it obviously sounds like something they'd already talked about as a group. And so, I mean, he's already getting up. And then Reed pops up with the question. I liked I'm not sure who said it, but it might have been Julie that said you can't hurt to ask. You know,
True.
It's not a dumb question unless you don't ask it. So I still don't have a problem with it, but I think an opportunity was missed by Probst that not only he wanted to hurt him, he was insulted, like you said with the car dealer. He was insulted that they brought up some old bottom of the bag. Yeah. So I understand that. I understand, especially when it comes to fire, because Probst is very good about preaching. Don't come to Survivor if you can't make fire.
That's right. Fire is life.
So I understand he's insulted. I think he should have hurt them more by giving something to the other tribe. That's just me. I know they didn't win anything. They didn't deserve anything. But still, I think he should have given them the fishing gear.
Yes.
I thought that would have been a great change. Fine, you can have Flint, but I want those beans, and Coyopa gets the gear. And not just keep the gear, but give it to the other tribe to give them why not give them a chance? They're down one person, and they've lost 3 challenges in a row. Why not give them an advantage? If they needed something, give the other an advantage because of the other team's mistake.
Yeah. As much as I think they really lowballed in this negotiation, I also think that they got way too good of a deal. So maybe their lowballing actually ended up working in their favor. Because if I'm Probst, I'm like, okay, not only do you not get the fishing gear, but before you get back to camp, your shelter is going to have been taken down, and you're going to have to build another shelter. I mean, let's make them work for this Flint. You know? Yeah. Now, Flint, if fire is life and it's such a big deal, then make it a hard deal. And losing fishing equipment, I'm sorry, is they didn't have it before, and now they just still don't have it, but they have Flint. They didn't come away any worse or any better, than the night before when they had Flint. So I think they got off easy.
And I know it's not the easiest thing to do, but can't you still make fire without Flint?
Yes, you can.
I know Flint's the immediate. It's like a match, but still, you can make fire without Flint. You still got to eat, right? You still got to eat. Still got to get by. But I agree with Natalie. We got to have fire, guys. We got to have fire.
Yeah.
But my fear is, had they said it at the beginning, Probst might have said, "Okay, you can have Flint, but you forfeit this challenge."
Oh, I don't think he would have done that.
I know. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying though is, if they had done it at the beginning. I don't know. I don't. You're right. It would have taken away a great moment of the challenge itself.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they gotta send people to exile and stuff like that.
Then I would have fallen the same way they did. I would have waited till the end and asked to trade it, because if they'd lost the challenge, they really wouldn't have got nothing. He would have said, "We're coming to your camp to take something else." Then.
Yeah, which they should have done.
Yeah.
Or they should have said, "Okay, we're gonna let Coyopa come to your camp and take anything they want."
Right,
they can come, but just make it more than just the fishing gear. I'm sorry,
I say get Coyopa involved too. I think they should have done that.
Yeah. Well, since you brought it up in front of Coyopa, let's get them involved. Not only do they get their fishing gear, but they get any one of your players they want. No, I'm just kidding.
or they get, I'll give you Flint, you give me the beans. Coyopa gets your gear, and then Coyopa gets to decide if this deal goes through or not. Coyopa can pass on the fishing gear and say, "You don't get Flint from me."
Oh, that'd be cool. Either way, whatever. All right. A very interesting section, though. I really enjoyed it. So, and another interesting thing is not everybody agreed with the final decision either.
Exactly. It took a while to come around.
Well, no, even afterwards, like Drew has has a thing on CBS where he wasn't happy with the decision. I
Yeah.
don't think they all agreed to it.
He said we could keep the fire going, and I'm thinking, you already have fire?
Yeah. I mean, they have coals.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking they could have started a fire.
I'm thinking
You
the
know,
same thing.
They could have started a fire at Survivor, for crying out loud. And Reed's the one that said, if you don't know how to start a fire, what are you doing on Survivor? Come on, Reed.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Back at camp. Hunapu, they're all happy. They're going to hang up their little flint thing on the tree.
Yep.
Maybe go fishing with it.
Yeah. And then we get Natalie having her reaction to Nadia being gone. Missy sympathizes. I wrote down Missy's short comment of she wants to help her.
Yeah.
She's not a twin, obviously, but she gets it. You know, I got my daughter, but these two girls have been together for 28 years.
Yeah.
And suddenly they're pulled apart in a game. And she goes, I just want to help her, and I just wonder if that's going to come back.
It's her mom instinct came out.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I take a little issue with something that Natalie said.
What's that?
So, by the way, you do have the notes, right?
Yeah.
See all my little clips. All right. This is Natalie.
So Nadia got voted off. She's probably fine. It's just that we're not together. That's probably the hard part. Now it's just like really good motivation for me to keep my head in the game and just play hard so that I can just at least go as far as I can.
I'm sorry. She's going to keep her head in the game so she can get a little bit farther. So I can at least, you know, come on. How about this? This makes me want to win. I'm going to win. She doesn't think she's going to win. She doesn't. She doesn't have any confidence that she's going to win.
Well, I mean, I agree. I mean, I know that's kind of a hard decision to come to, or kind of a hard mental state to be in. But I mean, if they were flipped in tribes, she'd be gone. Because Nadia didn't do anything wrong. It's because of who she was. So I wonder if Natalie feels like she's in the same boat, and she could be next to you just because of who she is.
Maybe so. I just think that your attitude should be, I'm going to win, not I'm going to get as far as I can.
That's a good point.
You know, it's like when you ask your kid, how are you going to do on the test? Well, I don't know. I guess I'll do as best I can. You know, because they're not thinking they're going to do very well. Well,
no, you passed the test.
Yes. How about saying, you know what, I'm going to pass that test.
Well, I got a question for you, though.
All right.
Do you have the notes?
Yes, why?
Because I printed out what you worked on today, and my clips are from episode 1 on my notes.
I finished the notes at like 8:10.
Not the notes that I brought up.
That's because you printed them before you went to soccer practice.
No, I printed them right before we came on the air. So I've got Keith mentally strong as a rock.
Wait, you printed the draft, not the final version.
Why are there 2 versions of notes in the podcast folder?
One's a draft so that you don't open it and print it and think it's the final version, and one is the final version so that you know that that's the right one.
Why are there 2 copies of notes in the podcast folder? Get rid of the second copy.
I just told you why.
Once you finalize one, delete the other one. And now why are they talking about this instead of the show?
Now you need to get on your computer and print up the notes.
You're carrying us the rest of the way, buddy.
But I've been carrying this the whole time anyway.
I know.
All right, anyway. No, I'm just playing around. All right. Draft means not final. Anyway. All right. So where are we?
We are, if you're done with the clips that I don't know anything about, then...
Back at Coyopa.
Yes.
Day 5. What all you got?
This guy starts speaking that I've never seen or heard from before. I think his name's Alec. He starts talking about recognizing John Rocker because he's seen this shirt with Rocker on the back of it and pretty much knows who he is. And then somebody that's coming around to me that I think is gradually working his way into this game, who I didn't think he was going to have a social bone in him, speaks up and says, you know, there was this guy that looks just like that John Rocker guy. He's got the same name as this John Rocker guy. Didn't he get in trouble for saying something, you know, and you know, because I'm going to put this guy out there and let y'all know that he's more of a threat and more of a mean person than I am, because I don't want y'all voting me out. But, you know, he's I just seem to remember something, you know, where he got on the subway and talked about ethnicity and talked about, he got real detailed for something he just kind of remembered.
And this is the exact quote.
Yeah, exactly. He starts
from this guy.
Yeah. he said something about New York on a subway, about these people sitting beside him and all the people getting along. You know, just kind of something like Dale, you go ahead, Dale, because these people are looking at you like, wow, we're in the same tribe as that guy. And Dale's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah. I don't think they were saying all that. I think it was just those 4 guys, and they made it look like Val was listening. And then they took an edit from later on when Missy was sitting next to Alec to make all that come together to make it look like that was all at the same time. I don't think they were. I mean, I don't think that's how it panned out. I think they would have shown Val in the shot if she was actually there.
Yeah. Baylor brought up that point about Jeremy and Val being on the same island, and it needs to be a big island or something. Or somebody said that. But I like
Jeremy and Val, Jeremy and Rocker.
Baylor brought up, because you said Missy, but Baylor brought up.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Jeremy and Rocker on the same island, and somebody said it would need to be a big island. Yeah. But I like Dale planting the seed to the other guys in the Guy Alliance that, we're working with a guy here that's got some opinions that aren't the nicest things in the world. Even to Josh, and Josh is like, really? And he walks away. That's somebody I want on my side.
Exactly, because Josh is playing the game.
Yes, he is.
Man.
Wow, you don't like John?
Good.
Wow. Let me add him to my alliance.
Yeah. He said, quote, he's an asset to be used because he's ticking people off.
Yep.
Or ticking off people. So way to go, Josh. So that's a cue for Exile Island, which we got very little of.
We got exactly 1 minute and 25 seconds. I wrote it down because that's all we needed.
Mm-hmm.
We got exactly what we needed from Exile Island. They walk on, they find the urns, and I meant to go back and see which urn had the clue last time.
Well, Val's did, the one on our right, her left.
I was trying to think if it was the fat one or the tall, skinny one.
And this time it was on our left, their right.
Yes. And
but these guys do what you're supposed to do when you get on Exile Island.
Hello.
You work together. You talk about stuff. And, I mean, the opposite of what Val did with Keith.
Right. Yes.
So.
And that's funny because as hard as she worked in the rest of this episode, it's like she didn't want to work on Exile Island.
I know.
And I didn't understand that. But I love this. It was only 1 minute and 25 seconds, but we got an urn. We got 2 guys came together by the nature of the game. By the end of the clip, they were, as Rocker said, done and done.
That's right.
I got her, you got mine. We're done and done. And like you said, this is what Survivor wanted. They wanted Exile Island alliances. I hated the previous Exiles when one person went looking for the clue and one person said, I'm not caring about anything. That's not what it's for.
That's right. So this is what Jeremy said that really impressed me, because a lot of people, including on Facebook and Twitter and everything, who don't, although now, Rocker's kind of shown what his personality is on Facebook and Twitter, on Twitter. But, like, when I first heard Rocker was going to be on, I was like, okay, well, he did say all that stuff a while back, but is he that way now? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
I remember you saying that,
Right, so here's what Jeremy says. Of all people, Jeremy says this, all right? I'm not saying John Rocker is a racist. You can say stuff like that, and it will follow you the rest of your life. You can change, yeah, sure, but it's still going to follow you the rest of your life. In other words, he's not judging him yet because he doesn't know him yet. He's not looking at him and thinking, you know what, I hate him. He's a racist bigot. He's all this stuff because he hasn't gotten to know him yet. Now later on he'll be mad because he's going to think that that John lied to him and all that stuff's going to come up and he's going to hate John Rocker. But not until something happens. Before that, Jeremy's approach to him is a very mature approach, I think.
Absolutely agree. And you're right, it's a really good point because it could be setting up either a flip for Jeremy or something else. I mean, Jeremy and Josh are getting really good edits. They're getting really good Survivor edits, but that's a really good edit for Jeremy to go into that situation like that because it just shows that he's willing to adapt. He's willing to work with. He understands it's just a game, it's not life. And no matter what he said, he could be different, things could be changed.
Right.
And I just love how, like I said in everything, that I wasn't excited about Exile, but I love how Exile is forming a third tribe.
Right.
And that's what they wanted. They wanted this. They're forcing people who are not on the same tribes to get together and either like or don't like, either way, and they got the two opposite reactions from episode 1 and episode 2, but they're forcing a third tribe, which is great. I love this because they want something to happen at the merge.
Right. And just in reply to a comment that Bethany just wrote, Val and Jeremy both knew who John Rocker was before the show ever started.
Yes, they recognized him.
Yeah, it wasn't Keith coming back and telling her who he was. She knew who he was.
Right.
So, but oh crud, I had something else on my mind and I forgot what it was.
I did write down their first comments. Jeremy said this place is dry, it's desolate, and it's got no coconuts. That is a great exile island.
Yeah,
that's what it's supposed to be.
And the show and CBS keeps showing the island even though they don't ever go out on it.
Right.
But there is at least an island there.
Are they on a separate physical island?
No, there's a little rocky place out on the edge of the little point, but they're actually on the beach.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So, what was it I was going to tell you? Crud.
I don't know, but this was a great Exile Island moment, and it was probably a lot shorter than the other one, and it came with what we wanted. We wanted to see some alignment, some working together. You cover mine, I'll cover yours. I loved it.
So they do the earn thing, and they see the clue, and he shares the clue. Now, granted, the way they edited it, Rocker kind of looked over before Jeremy actually offered.
Yes.
But Jeremy was going to show it anyway.
Which Keith would never have done to Val.
No.
Because she held it too close.
Yeah.
What does mine say?
Yeah. What? Would you believe me if I said nothing, even though I've been reading it for 5 minutes?
That's right.
The clue had 4 symbols: dig, water, north, and 7.
Yes.
My goodness. A 5-year-old could find the hidden immunity idol with that clue.
Yep.
I mean, that is a good clue.
Yeah.
I mean, the first clue just said, okay, it's somewhere by the well. So I guess theoretically, if you're Malcolm or somebody like that, you can find the clue because, you find the clue. There's a little wrapper there or something.
Yeah.
But this second clue, I mean, they might as well have just said, here it is.
Yeah.
So.
Walk to cameraman. There you go.
Yeah. And the last thing that Jeremy says is, he's talking about Val, if she's voted out, Julie's gone right after her. My friends, I think Jeremy is going to go off on Rocker because he's not going to know, and Rocker's not going to be able to say, hey, dude, I tried. Honest. Nope. He's going after her big time. Which means he's going to go after Rocker big time.
So Prop should say, you know what? We should do that pillow fight again challenge this week.
Yeah.
We'll let Jeremy and John go out there and just see what happens.
Yeah. Forget relatives fighting for reward. Let's just put Rocker and Jeremy in the middle and in big old sumo suits.
See, because I was expecting more of a reaction from Natalie about Nadi being gone, but now with Rocker and Jeremy, I think we'll definitely get the reaction that we want.
Yes, I do think so.
And I heard the sumo suits.
And what's interesting is it's going to be unjustified. Rocker's going to get the raw end of this deal, but then Rocker is going to be Rocker and say things he should not say.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, but Rocker deserves the raw end of this deal from the way he went from there. Well, but it's not all Rocker's fault, in my opinion.
Oh, gosh, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, all right, let's get to the immunity challenge.
Sure.
Day 6. I love this kind of challenge. I love it. Very physical, and there's water. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the teams were able to choose.
My only dislike would have been if they never made it to the last groups. Because if you get to 5, they could have gotten the 5 at John and John. That could have been all for one team. Not everybody would have gone. But it seemed to work out pretty well.
Well, as you know, they often make how many have to be done after the fact. So, I mean, they could have been playing the ones they wanted to show. Yeah,
because we also know they went a lot longer because one particular one shows somebody on the edge. The next clip shows them right in the middle.
Yeah.
So we know they went even longer than what they showed on TV.
So seriously, they could have been playing to 8 or 10, and everybody got to go, and then CBS picked, the 9 that they wanted to show.
All right, it's 8-1, but we're gonna go until y'all get the 10-10.
There you go. So let's see. Of course, they're going to sit out Julie or Kelly, and they decide on Julie. I don't know who decided,
Smart
though.
move. I don't know either.
I don't know. Julie already kicked it on one challenge.
She kicked it on working just poise and grace, but Kelly, I think, is a little tougher.
Maybe. Well, she's a farm girl, so
That's right.
she can grab those pigs and flip them over.
It's like hitting somebody with a bale of hay.
That's right. It's funny on Big Brother Australia. They have this challenge called the Yes No Challenge. Now, what's really awesome is they'll do these challenges and they'll take however long to do. It's not like all of a sudden they're just living in the house, and they called in Lawson and somebody else. I think maybe Kat or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And and there was this big fish, this big, that thick, 4 or 5 inches thick, about 1.5 feet long. And you have to say yes to whatever Big Brother asks. All right? You only get one no. Sorry for this little diversion, but this is really funny.
Yeah.
So you only get one no. If you do 2 no's, then you lose the challenge and they lose all kinds of food for the next week.
Yeah.
So they've had it where the woman's husband sitting up in the diary room. Would you like for me to tell your husband to leave? And you have to say yes. Right? So while they're bawling,
Yeah.
So he goes, Kat, this is Big Brother. Yes, Big Brother. Look to your left. Do you see the fish? Yes, Big Brother. Lawson, would you like for Kat to hit you in the face with the fish? And Lawson's like, oh, yes, Big Brother, nothing more. And what was funny was it wasn't just Kat. Kat, or whatever her name was, they got 5 people to come up and hit him in the face, including big old guys.
Gosh.
And he's like, whack in the side of the face with the fish. It was awesome. All right, anyway, because you said something about getting hit in the side of the face with the fish.
Yes.
So it made me thinking about that. But anyway, that's another reason why I really like Big Brother Australia. So, all right, so Kelly beats, Jacqueline beats Kelly. Anyway, we get all down to these, but the really good one was John versus John.
Yeah.
I mean, did you want to talk about any of the other ones?
Well, I knew Drew was going to beat Alec mentally because Alec looks scared to death. If you look at the look on his face, he was either nervous or just too excited.
Yeah.
One thing that bothered me about all these was, maybe I'm picking on Probst this week, but the little overkill with the post commentary, the emotional side. I love the pre-match talk.
Right.
What are you going to think about? How's he going to be facing your daughter? I love that because that's what Blood versus Water is about. But then when the Missy and the Baylor, and we all see what happened. We saw Baylor get upset, which probably would help her. We saw Missy pretty much, she might as well have just dropped the pillow and just jumped off. And then Probst announces the emotion totally changed on her face. And I'm like, You don't have to say anything.
Well, it was true, though.
Baylor win. Just say Baylor wins with ease or something. But I just thought there's a little extra commentary that wasn't needed.
So you thought he was being melodramatic?
Very much so.
And I liked it.
Well, I thought the silence would have been wonders because people were commenting on the podiums, on the platforms, through the whole thing, which I thought was great. And I thought silence would have been great for that. Just an emotional thing, and we didn't need any more commentary for that point.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can understand your position. I think it was very obvious the person after she banged her daughter's face in with her head, and it took 2 seconds for Baylor to beat Missy after that. I mean,
all right, so
you wasn't even in it anymore.
The clip stuttered, but you said it was obvious what?
It was obvious that she gave up. I mean, it took 2 seconds for Baylor to get her off the podium.
So why did we need Probst to announce that to us when we all saw it? I just wanted to see emotion. I wanted to see reactions. I didn't need Probst to dictate what I just saw and know what happened. I'm just being a little picky.
Yeah, you are being picky, but that's okay. You have a right to be picky. So I wrote down. Well, I already said that, but I have a clip about Baylor talking about it, and I want to play that clip.
Going up against my mom today was so hard, especially getting bashed in the face the first 10 seconds. That's not fun. And I don't know. It did help to get, this sounds weird, but it did help for her to kind of physically accidentally bump me just because then I get angry and I can just take it out on her. So I felt like it would have been harder if there was no blood and teeth pain. just because I could barely look at her in the eyes. I really could. I couldn't. I guess just knowing how much my mom's been through and how much pain she's been through, there's
All right.
absolutely...
The rest of that clip I don't care about. But it's interesting how it totally affected Baylor differently than it did Missy.
Yeah, it's opposites. It took them in opposite directions.
Yeah, Missy was like, "Oh my gosh, my daughter," and Baylor was like, "I'm gonna kill you, Mama."
But it is funny because I don't remember what they each said pre-show, but this is one of those moments where are you gonna beat your opponent? No, I mean, are you gonna defeat them? Are you gonna face them in this match, or are you gonna bow down and let them win? Right. When we wrestle with our kids and they come up crying because we hurt them, we're emotionally broken. We want to help them too, but and you got to think Missy just thought, wow, I just hurt my child. We're in the middle of this game. What is that going to affect her? And she just looks at her and sees Baylor's face was just tore up.
Man,
gosh, it was.
I would have not been able to fight very much after that too.
Exactly. So my question was though, when Missy said, when Pro said, "What are you imagining?" She said, "I see one of my exes."
Yeah.
And then he asked Baylor, "I see one of the exes too," and I'm thinking, one of Missy's exes or one of your exes?
No, I think one
of her exes.
Yeah, one of Missy's exes.
Oh, you think Baylor's thinking about one of Missy's exes?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too.
Those ex-husbands.
Yeah, I'm thinking about an ex too. He probably said the same one.
Yeah.
You want to say a name? But that was good. But that was the blood versus water effect that we want to see in these challenges.
Right. So the best one of them all, though, to me, was still John versus John.
Yeah.
John Rocker did not think he was going to lose this, but when I saw that matchup, I thought John Mish has got this in the bag. It's going to be tough and it's going to be hard, but he's a two-time second-place Taekwondo guy. He's a wrestler. He's a football player, and he's 25 years younger, or 10, 15, 20 years younger. Well, let's see. Hold on. Rocker's 39, and John is 26, so he's 13 years younger. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sorry, but John, man, it was good.
I always think about how I would do in these challenges, in any challenge, because I'd love to be on it. And my first thought was to get in your stance, and let them come. I go at them, but let them come at me, but get low. I would want to get low and try and lift them either on their toes or maybe off the platform a little bit to put them off balance. Because you get them off balance for a second, you can knock them either down or off the podium altogether, off the platform.
Yeah.
And looking at John, it's like a low center of gravity. Rocker went low, but John went lower. I think he got his hit in lower. And I think that's what eventually got him the win. But Rocker is this big baseball player that looks like a professional wrestler, and John is everything you just said.
Right.
Center of gravity, balance. He's built like a rock, and it's just one of those never give up things. And it's funny when Rocker fell off, and John went to drop his pillow. It's like he was checking out his bicep. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just did that.
I just beat John Rocker, professional baseball player.
He'll probably be a wrestler in about 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, now, granted, John Rocker's bigger than your average baseball player.
Yes.
I mean, he's all muscle.
But and granted, we don't know what other sports John Rocker's done, but John Mish has done. Let's see, you said wrestling, football, and taekwondo. That's 3 physical hand-to-hand sports.
Yeah.
Rocker throws balls at people.
Yeah. Now, before I play the clip of what Jacqueline had to say about this on CBS, one thing I noticed is that they went in head first. There's a pad there for a reason, and when your head is going in before the pad, I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster and bloody noses and stuff like that.
Yeah, Baylor.
And see John Rocker. That's a recipe for broken noses.
Yeah.
So but man, the pads were just kind of there. They were using their body. They were like using their head to push them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probst gave them a lot of leeway.
Yep.
All of them. He gave them all a lot of leeway.
Yeah, because it seemed like with what was it, Caramel or Blood versus Water, the first Caramoan, it was a lot of hitting with the bag. You know, I mean, they did fall down and get on the ground, but there's a lot of bag use. But yeah, you're right. The bags were one-handed and they were flying around, and
yeah,
he did. He was probably loving it.
Yeah. This is what Jacqueline had to say.
I was definitely nervous when I saw John up against John, but I know that John has the skill set from his history with wrestling and taekwondo and all that he could take him. Like, John's taken out guys 40 pounds heavier than him before because he knows the technique. So it's not just weight, it's the whole technique of it. And it was really, I didn't know what to do. I was like, Go, John! Both of you! So, yeah, it was emotional. I was so happy for him because I know.
That's enough.
Yeah.
But still, you get the idea.
Yeah, and so does Dale, because he was feeling the same way when Jacqueline was out there against his daughter.
Yeah.
And from Drew, who was cheering on Josh from the other side.
Go, Josh! Oh
my gosh.
Do you like Josh or something? Is there something we need to know?
So I come home from choir, and Gracie's sitting there, and she just watched it, and she looks at me. And I must have got home at like 9:03. I said, "Did you finish?" Because usually she waits too and goes through commercials. She goes, "I just finished." I said, "Was it good?" And she just looked at me because she knows that if she's smiling, somebody she doesn't like is gone. And if she's frowning, somebody she likes is gone. And I kind of know who she likes and doesn't like. And she just looks at me. I said, "Was it good?" She just looks at me. So she gives me the remote, walks out of the room. She goes, "It was funny. It had a funny moment." So I'm watching. I don't know if I squealed or if I screamed or if I just...
Really?
But she had the door open upstairs, which she doesn't often do, and she comes bouncing down the stairs. I knew you were going to bust out laughing at that. I knew I was going to hear you laughing upstairs, and then I rewound it and had to watch it again. Oh, my goodness, it was so funny.
I think I had to pause the TV at that moment, too. I died laughing. Because even after John tells him, Drew still has this look of, what? What?
Whatever.
Total blank.
Oh, so funny.
Oh. And how about it being Kelly's birthday?
I know.
Go figure. You don't usually hear about that unless...
Let's just pull the heartstrings a little more.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Dale? Why do you got your head down?
Yeah.
I didn't get her anything.
Yeah.
You know what they should have done? If Kelly had won that last round with Jacqueline, which she did, her tribe should have sung Happy Birthday after she won that.
Well, that would have been...
Come on.
Natalie did say, "Happy birthday, girl. You deserve it."
Yep.
Yeah. So Coyopa loses 4 challenges in a row, David. This is not looking good for Coyopa. I mean, 6 of my people are on Coyopa. This is not good.
And it's funny because I think we both had Coyopa as dominating challenges.
Oh, everybody did.
I know.
Everybody thought they were going to dominate.
Now, one thing else I noticed, which brought me back to Jeremy's comment earlier, was when they exited the platforms. Hunapu, on their adrenaline rush, flew off the platform and flips and somersaults and dives and jumps. And then Coyopa, whatever you want. Coyopa, thank you. Coyopa just kind of jumps, just kind of steps off.
Oh,
except for Alec. You know, the happy-go-lucky guy that's just having a blast. He backs up and runs off and does a somersault flip like his brother or Jeremy did. And I'm thinking, does he have a care in the world? Is he that confident that he thinks he's that safe? Yeah. And that just made me think about what Jeremy said. And I know Jeremy and Alec are on different tribes, but it's the mindset that I think Jeremy was talking about. And these guys, they don't have a care in the world. They think everything's fine. We haven't won yet. And then, so I'm thinking about that and watching. All of a sudden, here comes Rocker with his belly flop off the platform. That was hilarious.
I don't guess I caught that for some reason.
Well, Rocker, the whole tribe goes one way, and Rocker goes this way. And he's off the screen. They're off. Alec jumps, and all of a sudden, Rocker just right into the water. You got to go back and watch it. It's hilarious. It looked like a frustration. I'm going to hurt myself jump because we should not have lost.
No. All right, so Val says she's prepared to make big moves. Well, we'll see about that.
Yep.
That was the last thing before commercial. So Coyopa, day 6. Dale, of course, talking about the challenge, and I like what Jacqueline says. Well, right now I hate her, but I'm sure it'll pass.
It too shall pass.
Yeah. And Rocker is very kind to Val, talking about, hey, it was a pleasure hanging out with Jeremy.
Yeah.
And Val goes straight to, you got a clue, right? Because I got a clue. Yep. Jacqueline's right there, but that Jacqueline and her are working together. Boy, Jacqueline's attached to the wrong person.
Yeah. Yep, she was standing right there just listening, but it's overplaying. I mean, I think you're going there too, but did you find an idol out there? Because I found one. Yeah. Why would he find an idol if you found one?
Exactly. In both places, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I found one here too. But if you want to save yourself, you better dig and find one. How? You've already found them.
Yeah, they don't put 8 idols out, one for every player.
Exactly.
So Rocker finds it, which should have been his first clue that Val doesn't have one.
I'm wondering. Well, there obviously wasn't time, and I'm just tangent just for a second because I want to go back to that. But we never saw Jeremy go to the well, so I'll be interesting if we get to see that next week because obviously he has a clue too. But yeah, once Val leaves, Jeremy's like, "What?" Rocker's like, "Well, the clue said, to the well, go north, go 7 paces, and dig."
Yeah.
What it should have said was get a stick and scrape.
Yeah.
Scratch the ground because you'll find something very quickly.
Yeah, it was not underground. It may have been like under a layer of dirt or a rock.
Leaves, under a layer of leaves. Is what it seemed like.
There was no digging involved.
Yeah.
In getting that. But still.
Of course, we don't know how long he was there looking for it, so because he could have gone south.
Right.
He meant to go north.
All right, so he tells Josh that Val is going to play. Explain this to me, David. What is going on here?
He sits down with Wes and Josh in the water and says, "Hey, Val's telling everybody she's got 2 idols." And we know this from, well, Wes could have been secondhand knowledge, but we know in a clip that's online, it's on our Facebook page too, that Val does tell Alec that she has 2 idols.
Right.
She eventually tells him in a very sketchy kind of way.
And he believes her.
Right. So Rocker, instead of doing a flat-out protect, let's just not worry about her this time, let's get rid of somebody else like he should have, he says, let's split he seems to suggest it. That's the way the edit says. He suggested they split votes between Val and Baylor, which Josh, who is an actor, does a wonderful job of not reacting.
Exactly.
And just looks and just ponders. Rocker, you are the genius.
Yes.
Just tell me what to do, John. Tell me what to do.
Yep.
Good job to Josh. He just sits there and lets them work.
I like Josh a lot.
I know. And I wish we were getting any of the other tribe because my pick is on the other tribe. But, man, Josh is just working this angle really he's adapting.
Yep.
He's going with the flow, and he's adapting every time something comes around.
Yeah.
So they want to split votes. And, we'll put some on Val and put some on Baylor and, go from there.
And the key is to not let Val know.
Correct. And that's Josh's comment.
Right. That's what Josh was saying to Rocker, which makes Josh very suspicious when Rocker goes back with Val again.
Yeah.
Which Josh says he never goes out with Val.
Never happens.
So that's and so Josh adjusts because he thinks something's going on, and so when we get to tribal council, he's the one that makes it a tie. He's the one that messes it all up for everybody, quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, Rocker, but this is just not smart. When you're working 2 sides, you don't walk off with the bad guy that you're giving all the information to.
Yeah.
You walk off with Jacqueline and you tell Jacqueline to tell her, or something, or you send them one direction, you go another, but you don't pick up the person and presume nobody's watching, especially when somebody like Josh. Of course, he doesn't know that Josh is playing so well, but yeah. Rocker makes it obvious, but it's kind of like, and I'm relating to baseball again, but it's kind of like Val says, you know what? Don't worry about me because when I go up to hit, I've got the magic bat. Right. When I stick that bat out, it's going to hit the ball. So Rocker goes to her and says, hey, all right, we're going to split the votes, but I'm telling you this because I'm protecting you. So play one of your idols and you'll be good to go. You'll be safe. Yeah. So use your magic bat when you go up there. And at some point,
Val should have. Okay, honestly, I don't really have one. So can we do another plan? Except that Val's mindset was, okay, but me and Jacqueline can vote for Baylor, and so it's all good.
Right. So who was splitting the votes on Val and Baylor? That's my question.
Rocker, Alec, and Josh were supposed to vote for. Baylor.
Okay.
And Wes, Dale, and hold on. Okay, Rocker, Alec, and Josh were supposed to vote, and Baylor, Wes, and Dale were supposed to vote for Val.
Right. Okay.
And Josh switched all that up and voted for Val, so it would be a tie.
And so he could keep Baylor, or at least give Baylor a chance to stay.
Right.
And
now let me go ahead and give credit to Jeff Pittman at True Dork Times, because he's the one that figured out who voted for who, because it wasn't clear. So
see, I was trying to figure that out too, because they only showed us like 4 votes, and I was thinking with Alec. See, I think didn't we hear that Alec and Baylor kind of had a thing, just like the little pairing going up that those two were hitting it off, or was it her and Wes? I can't remember which one.
Her and Alec, I think.
So I was surprised that Alec would vote for Baylor because he seems young and dumb as well, and I would think he'd want to keep the girl around that he likes hanging out with.
Yeah, well, you're gonna go with the group.
So among Val's many mistakes, one of not taking the opportunity to bond with Keith because she would probably never go back to exile, so she missed that opportunity.
Yep.
Here's her chance to say, Rocker, let's stop and let's talk. I got to be honest with you. You have come to me with something vitally important, and now I realize that you are the one I can trust on this tribe. You've got to tell somebody. Andy Baker talks about it all the time about finding your one true.
Yes.
And Val says she needs to, like, Rocker would take that and just feel like an angel if she were to tell him that and say, look, I lied. I didn't know if I could play with you or not. I don't have any idols.
Right.
So we got to fix this. We got to make a vote count. And he could have made a change somewhere.
Yeah.
Or I don't think he would have given her his idol, but he could have done something different to help save him because I think if Rocker had known that, he would not want Jeremy upset with him.
Right.
And now he's got to deal with that. So, I think we're in agreement here. Val made a second big mistake of not coming clean with somebody. It's like she's trying to play real hard by herself.
Yeah.
And you can't do that at this stage in the game.
This whole scenario is another reason, is actually kind of a counter argument of the blood versus water thing, because now it makes going to Exile Island, like both Jeremy and Rocker now have this burden on them.
Yes.
If I don't save yours, then mine's gone.
Right.
So now Rocker feels obligated. I mean, because he's trying to protect his girl on the other side.
Right.
So.
But I mean, that's what they wanted. Like I said, they wanted a third tribe. There should be Wes, Keith, Val, Jeremy, Rocker, and Julie now. They should all be bonded if they'd done it the right way. But I had a feeling at this point, looking at Val, that Val just doesn't seem to be enjoying herself. And I know she was smiling when she was talking about the Oscar performance that she gave, she's having to think too much.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you want to blame somebody, blame Jeremy for volunteering episode 1, because it was that challenge that sent her to exile that put her on this path to feeling like she has to come back and overplay to make up for her absence. She came back and said, nobody talked to me. Nobody told me. I didn't know anything. You guys said vote Dale. I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And I just wonder what it would have been like had she had a different path in this game. Had she not gone to exile in the beginning.
It's still her fault. It's not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just really think she could have come back in and blended well. It just sounds like she's still got that feistiness that she had with Jeremy. She's using it in her tribe.
Yeah. I want to read something that Val said to Gordon Holmes.
Okay.
Earlier, you know how Gordon does I'm going to say their name and you give me one word, right? So he said John Rocker, and she said good guy. All right?
Yeah.
So then he comes back and he follows up with this question. Let's jump back into that. You said good guy for John Rocker. Survivor has taken some heat for casting him due to his controversial comments. What's the other side of that? Why is he a good guy? She says, John was one of the guys that welcomed me back. I think you saw he tried to do the right thing. I think that he was paranoid about his own position, which we already said.
Yeah.
He was wondering if he was going to be back on the block after exile. I'm not excusing the things he said, but on Survivor, he was funny. He was helpful. For him being older than the group, he jumped in and kind of vibed with everyone. So Rocker was doing great in the tribe. This whole Val thing is going to blow up and cause problems.
Right.
Val liked him.
I remember when she came back with Keith, episode 1, he was one of the people you could hear say, welcome back, Val. Glad you're back, Val. And then when they got back to camp, he said, well, welcome, Val. They made a point of showing that in the edit twice that he welcomed her back.
But I don't think they're showing us all the nice things that Rocker's doing, because Rocker's about to blow up, I think.
Yeah, because that edit wouldn't coexist with the edit we're about to see in episode 3.
Yeah. And I'm saying that based on the fact that Jeremy's going to be ticked off.
And Julie could be in trouble.
Yes. All right, so let's get to Tribal Council. Are you ready for Tribal Council? Anything else?
Let me see if I got anything else. Nope. I'm ready for Tribal Council. I wrote down a lot in Tribal Council.
Yeah, this is where Alex says, this isn't the first time we've failed to decide before we just throw our matchups out there. Like you said, he's referring to that reward challenge.
And even Dale said before him, he said, we've made mistakes strategizing for challenges. All our loved ones lost except, he points that out about that challenge. But he said the same thing Alex says, we've made mistakes strategizing.
Right.
And, and Alec follows right up. Yes, with the same thing.
Yeah, and I like Rocker's attitude. His attitude is, you know what? Positive. We're going to gel, we're going to win, and we'll be back emotionally and physically. I mean, he's trying to put a positive spin on it. He's trying to encourage the group.
Come on, didn't you watch Bull Durham? Let me read this to you. At some point, Jeff, it's going to gel, it's going to click, and we're going to end up taking one of these things and be right in this series. We're down 2-1, but we're going to come back. We're going to gel as a team. We're going to work together, and this series is going to go our way, and Atlanta's going to be back on top in just a couple games. I'm sorry, but this is such a baseball answer. It is a great answer, and it is a correct, I want to say PC answer, but it is such a trained baseball answer in the clubhouse. After you lose a game and you're down 2 games, I thought it was great. And I applaud Rocker for this answer because it's not offensive. It's not hurting anybody, which is about to come up. It is a great answer. But it was such a baseball clubhouse answer after you just lost a game in a series. I thought it was great.
So were you quoting something?
I read exactly what he said. Yeah, that was exactly what Rocker said.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. But at the same time, then Josh gets to be Broadway Josh. So it was great. I loved it. They both got to say what exactly they knew, and they brought their personal lives into it.
Yeah. Josh is like, we need to make some changes.
Yep. And it's like you said, we showed the preview, they didn't like it, we made the changes, and we gotta put it so that they like it, and so that it comes out on top for us.
What do you think about Val calling out Baylor?
To me it's more overplaying. I don't think Val had a chance of saving herself anyway. I think Josh had already made up his mind that he was going to cause a stir and turn it against her. But she just came off bitter, But I understand because Jacqueline was right with her, saying, "Hey, you turned on us. You were going to vote with us. You went with the guys. You're showing your side."
Yeah. That actually sounded like a high school moment. You told us you were going to do that.
That's right. And I get Val's point. She's saying that Baylor said Dale, and Baylor's like, I didn't say Dale. I just said we'll do what we got to do, which she didn't do. So which Baylor said, I'm going with the numbers. Why am I going to stick with you guys when you don't have the numbers?
What's funny is hey, I'm going to say I have idols so they won't vote for me. Well, guess what? That's quite the opposite of what happened.
Yeah. And I love when it gets called out. I heard 2-2. You heard 2-2 what?
You heard 2-2.
Yeah. Wes says, I heard she's wearing a 2-2 under that. So.
Yeah. So they vote. Well, was there anything else you wanted to say before they vote?
It was a good tribal council, but man, it was quick again.
Yeah, it was. So Baylor votes for Val, according to Jeff Pittman. Baylor votes for Val, which she was supposed to. Rocker votes for Baylor, which he was supposed to. Wes votes for Val, he was supposed to. Val votes for Baylor, of course. Dale votes Val. Alec votes Baylor. Jacqueline votes Baylor, but Josh turns the tables and votes Val.
Right.
So we have a question on YouTube from Robert, and I'll put it up here so you can see it. After a tie, after the first vote, do they do more tribal talk before the second vote? I don't think they do. I think Proch just says, we're going to vote again, and this is the rules. Go vote. That's
I think the edit's pretty close to
although I think I've seen in past, Probst, like on a third one, Probst is like, okay, y'all do all the talking you want because this is the third one. And I think I've seen that. I just don't remember which season it was.
No, I do remember that. You're right, because he said if you come back another tie, we're drawing rocks.
Right, so y'all better talk this out. Right.
If you want to make your case, make it now.
Right. But anyway, so they did tie, no hidden immunity idol play, which John Rocker's like, what? Rocker says, now I'm going to look like a liar to your husband.
Yeah.
And I wrote, that is not good for Rocker's game at all, and I think it comes to head next episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And because we even got a tease about Julie saying, I was just surprised by John, or I just was hurt, or I was surprised that he did that.
Yep. Jacqueline was the only vote for Baylor in the revote.
Yeah.
Everyone else went back to Val. Because they wanted Val gone more than Baylor anyway, but if Val had the idols, you might as well, this is smart playing. If Val has the idol, then okay, she saves herself with it. But if she doesn't, then she's out of here. And a lot of times people will just go, oh, well, they have the idol, so we'll just vote for somebody else. I'm glad they did it.
And they're keeping the person that voted with them from the beginning. Baylor jumped with them in the beginning, and she's still with them.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's all I wrote down.
Prope said, something has to change quickly, or one by one you will all be out of this game.
Aww.
Very, very important thing that he says. Yeah. We're not going to talk about the preview because a lot of people don't watch the preview. And just take it from me, what you expect is going to happen is probably going to happen in the preview.
Yeah, what you expect from Jeremy and Rocker is going to happen.
Oh, really? You're just going to blurt it right out there, eh?
Well, I mean, we've been talking about it the whole time. Jeremy's going to see it. He's not going to be happy.
Yeah. So, all right. Stock up, stock down. Do you have a stock up for anybody or a stock down for anybody?
My stock up was hard because I didn't really – nobody from whom really stood out as gaining ground. I mean, John did well. Jeremy talks well. Natalie might even go up because she's by herself now and get the sympathy vote. But my stock up is actually going to go to Dale because I liked him pointing out Rocker being who he is, and how sly he did it, and the fact that he won over Keith in that challenge and proved that he was worth and he got his point even though they didn't win. Out of everybody for this episode, as good an episode as it was, I thought it was a pretty even episode. But I'd give my stock up to Dale.
All right. I'm going to give it to Baylor. I mean, I liked her last episode, but I really liked the way she handled the whole battle on the water thing. Made me like her even more. Plus, I love her YouTube videos. Yeah. This girl can sing. Y'all need to go find Baylor Wilson on YouTube and listen to her because she's good. She just released a video today, or maybe yesterday, but she just released a video.
You could also find them on our Facebook page.
Sticky situation.
And I'd say I agree with you. She's in a good standing because of where she is with the guys on her tribe. I think she would definitely be the last female if they got that far.
Stock down for anybody?
I hate to say it, but Rocker. I just think he really messed up. And it started in the beginning of the show, and at the end. But it wasn't all his fault, like you said. I completely agree. But I think his stock has gone down because of what happened. And I think Julie's going to be in trouble, and that's only going to make him worse.
Right.
Normally,
upset. I do stock up and stock down based on if they've gone up in my liking of them. I don't usually do stock up, stock down as it relates to the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really have a stock down for anybody based on what I thought of them. So I'm going to go with John Rocker also because I think his game is about to take a huge turn for the worse.
And for somebody that might not play the game like a Josh would, because if something like this happened against Josh, I think he would adapt. He wouldn't like it, but I think he would adapt. I don't think Rocker's going to adapt the way somebody like Tyson did when it happened to Tyson back in the first Blood versus Water.
All right, so we are getting close to the drawing for the $25 Amazon gift card from those of you that bought T-shirts. So we're about to do that. Before we do that, we want to remind you of the feedback show, which is Sunday night live at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Get your feedback in by Sunday at 7, and you can do that at survivortalkwithdnd.com/feedback. While you're on our page, look around. There's all kinds of good stuff on our page. So, all right, David, we have names in the bucket, and David's going to draw a name.
I didn't draw it. No. I'm just showing you there are names on each of the chips. This is Nicholas.
Don't show them. Oh, great. Now, make sure you mix it all up. Nicholas is going to be ticked off.
No, I'm showing they're all inside this thing. If you can find it.
Nicholas like, will you grab mine first to show my name? It's not fair.
All right. I've turned on the SCA 9000. I'm going into the room where the SCA 9000 is. And I'm not looking. And I'm going to draw out one chip. And here's the chip. Are you ready? That's Jonathan Riley from Survivor Nation.
Good for Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan Riley, Survivor Nation, wins the $25 Amazon gift card.
Way to go, John. John, you need to message me with your email address, and I will send you an electronic Amazon gift card. I will not send you one in the mail. I will send you one electronically, and then you better use our link when you shop. Because We made no money on these shirts.
So we want the 25 cents back that you're going to spend.
We spent $240 on shirts for ourselves, and we made $187. There, how you like that?
But we got some limited edition T-shirts.
That's right, man. We got limited edition shirts that are rocking. I like them. And I know Mike K's going to wear his to all those Survivor events, you know?
There you go.
I love it. I think it's going to be awesome. Plus, I wanted a shirt. Hey, leave us an iTunes review on iTunes. Follow me on Twitter at Survivor. Join our Facebook group. We're on. What are we at now? 3. What are we at? Have we reached 400 yet?
Yeah, we're over 4.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
but we're getting on up there.
I want to say 440s.
I don't know. That makes me want to look. Facebook.com/group/Survivor Talk. We do have a page, but we don't use it except to put a couple things on there to say, hey, go to the other place. You're right, 446 members.
I should get points for that and the title.
Yeah, by the way, remember, I don't think he should get points for the title because it was not an exact quote. David thinks he should.
Of course, I think I should.
Of course, Shayna. Well, yeah, but you also thought you should got points for him walking over a tree limb last season. So, but I think you might have more ground to stand on this argument. So it'll be interesting to see what people think. I bet the voting crosses down, sides on who has Josh on their team. Those who have Josh on their team are going to vote yes. Those who don't. So ignore the current point totals on our website because they're not accurate. So just ignore those. They'll get updated whenever David updates them, a couple days or tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Music for tonight's show is Summit by Skrillex. Until I think of some parody, there's been nothing inspiring for a parody yet. Yeah. I haven't.
I've actually been inspired for 2 of them. But not from this season. But I was thinking of it the other day. I was listening to Johnny Cash's "Ring." I fell into a burning ring of fire from Mike Scoopin.
Yeah.
And then I thought about "Eye of the Tiger" with sand in the eye for Shamar or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But not for this season. Sorry.
If I do, I'll tell you. All right. Thanks again for listening, everybody. That is all I've got. How about you, Dave?
I like this episode. That's all I got.
All right. See you, everybody.
See ya.